Hey guys, it's RJ from The Secret Stacks, and today I'm doing my super embarrassing, disappointing February wrap up. So, this is only my second month where I've ever had a reading goal, and I missed it. So, it's a little embarrassing, but I want to go ahead and put this up and not wait and not try to fudge it because I have something to say about missing reading goals and being disappointed that I think will make this video at least a little bit interesting. The first book I read was City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars both as a reread and as an original read, which I think comes down to the strength of the characters for me and the interestingness of their interactions. I can't say that I love any of the characters, but it is interesting seeing them butt heads and rub elbows, and it does keep it fresh in ways that after seeing the story so many times in different adaptations, it's still interesting. I talked more about characters thriving in those little moments and why it makes for such an engaging series and why maybe that's because the adaptations have failed. So if you want to check that out, I'll link that down below. Now next, here's where I got stuck in the mud. Have you ever been really excited for a book, bought it almost right as it came out, and just were super disappointed in it? Well, that doesn't happen to me that often because I don't buy that many books. So if I'm getting a new release, I am really excited about it, and there is that much more pressure on the story. Now, these books are so niche that I don't think very many people will be interested in hearing about them, but I do want to talk about just the sense of being disappointed in a book and how it can get you in a reading slump. Now, if I don't buy a book, I'm much more likely to put it down after a couple chapters and say, all right, I didn't like it, that's fine, I got it from the library, I'll get a new one. But when you make that purchase, and as a new release, both of these, they weren't cheap purchases, it really stops you in your tracks because one, there's a double sort of reinforcement of you wanted to like it, but you didn't, and therefore you feel obligated to read it. And then there's the added pressure of a reading goal where you really feel obligated. So instead of jumping to the next book, it's just you get bogged down, and therefore you not only end up disappointed, you read something you don't like, but also you miss your goal because it took you 2 weeks. So in the future, I have to do better about sunk costs and saying, look, I don't like it, I'm not going to force myself to read it, or put it down and come back during a time where I'm on a roll and it won't impact me that much. But anyway, I've talked about it in general terms so much. The 2 books that I did read are 2 Naruto light novels. Now, the first of those 2 stories, the one that I was really disappointed with, was Kakashi's Story by Akira Higashiyama. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, and that was pretty generous. It wasn't good, and you need to really be a die-hard Naruto fan to recommend it. If you're obsessed with reading everything, I'd say go ahead. The light novel sits somewhere between spin-off and canon. It just seemed like it was written by somebody, and in particular translated by somebody who wasn't familiar with Naruto. So not only were there canon clashes, but it also just things like names of the jutsus and things like that were translated so literally, whereas someone who was familiar with the story would have gotten the sense better. The second Naruto light novel was Shikamaru's Story by Yano Takeshi. I like this one a lot more. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, in particular for 2 reasons. Number 1, Shikamaru is one of my favorite characters. Number 2, if you're a fan of shipping, this light novel has a lot of good shikatema and also Ino Sai foundation that I think you'll find really fun. Now the question comes down, I got into a little bit more of a roll at the end of the month. I'm already ahead on my March reads, up halfway through a book, and I'm looking forward to counting that to March so that I feel like I have a little bit of momentum. But it'll be interesting to see how I play catch up. Do I read 5 books next month, or do I just try to settle back in that routine and pick one up when I'm really excited about something? This is my first time having a goal. It's a little bit of a figuring out process on how I'm going to handle it, but that does make it interesting too. So my question for you guys is, what do you do when you hit a disappointing book? Do you give it up, or when you buy it, do you really feel obligated like you have to get through it? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And until next time, see ya.